as well. But first of all, the question, where will we be racing? And that's what we're going to present now. The DTM 2021 will be racing all over Europe. So these are the circuits on the calendar. 9 events with the start of at the end of May in St. Petersburg. Then we continue at Monza, a track that was planned for this year. You are well advanced in the planning. Is it completely clear that the season opener will be in St. Petersburg? Well, maybe first of all, I'm really excited about the calendar. It's a good international calendar with circuits that are very exciting for the drivers. A lot of tracks that is also used by Formula One. Really attractive race circuits that will be very important and remain very important to make it attractive for drivers and for teams. We start in Russia, but there's still an asterisk behind it. It has to be confirmed, just because we are not certain that this time the slot is not too easy because of the COVID-19, too early because of the COVID-19 situation. We want to be as safe as possible to allow for fans to be present from the first race onwards. So that's we're in the process of planning. We're not quite certain about the race in Russia, but when we look to the next race at Monza in June, I think we have a good chance to stage the race with spectators being present on site. Obviously a great racetrack, Monza. I'm really excited going there with the DTM. The Red Bull Ring is making its comeback on the schedule. We have our highlight at the Norris Ring, something we're always looking forward to, everybody. The finale at Hockenheim, we go to Zolder, to Assen in the Netherlands. So the core is Germany, there's absolutely no question about it. 50% of the races in Germany, and then neighboring countries, and I think everybody looking to the schedule will find something and will say that it's a good thing. Austria, Zolder, that has produced great race weekends recently, last year as well, the Norris Ring, Nürburgring, so motorsport fans can look forward to it, and hopefully we will be able to welcome many of them at the track in 2021, but all of them will be asking, what kind of cars are we seeing? You've been talking about some brands already, and I would like to welcome some other people here. I'm happy that Thomas Jäger is here on behalf of Mercedes-AMG, the new sporting organizer of the AVD, the Automobile Club of Germany, Lutz Leif-Linden, and Chris Reinke of Audi Sport Customer Racing. Chris, very good morning to you as well. So, Mercedes in this circle. Let's start with Thomas Jäger. Is this the comeback of Mercedes-Benz in the DTM? Well, Mercedes has been a major part of the DTM for decades, and until 2 years ago it was involved as a factory team here as well. So now with the new GT3 regulations to FIA regulations, there's also the possibility again for the Mercedes-AMG to be involved here again. And we're really delighted to be able to support our... are there already Mercedes teams that have contacted you and expressed their interest to be present? Well, not just contacted me, but they have really confirmed their participation. A lot of manufacturers we've been talking to. The big advantage, as I said already, with the GT3 regulations, there are many different manufacturers that can really rely on cars that have been developed already to these regulations. So there's a lot of support. It doesn't matter if it's Porsche, Aston Martin, McLaren, Ferrari, Audi, of course. There's a lot of manufacturers who immediately contacted us and said we want to be present there. So interest is huge. Registration have opened. Obviously, the deadline is until the end of February before the teams have everything completed. But I'm really confident that we will see a varied field of brands on the grid for next year. For Audi, Chris Reinke, what is it like? Fans are asking themselves as well, what is the procedure like? Are teams coming to you and saying, Audi, we would like to race there with the R8 in the DTM? What is it like? Yes, correctly. That's the way it is at the moment. We as Audi Sport Customer Racing with the R8 LMS, we have a strong product. We have over 100 cars running worldwide, so there's the premium brand that is the DTM. So now bringing these two things together is obviously very positive things. Obviously, as a team, first of all, you go to the DTM, you look to the regulations and you submit your entry, and then you ask us for Audi for some support. We have had a support system in place for 12 years with the spare part service in the paddock. We have a service truck there, we have technical support. But at the end of the day, it is customer racing. So that means that every entrant, every team is responsible for its own business model and its own package. Thomas, also to you, as a brand, of course, you have interest in a platform like the DTM, but also you want to see the best drivers behind the wheel of a Mercedes. It's very important, obviously. Yes, definitely. The DTM is a great platform. It has a great history. I've been racing here myself for 4 years, and obviously for me it's important to see our cars on the grid here. And now it's a good step to publish the schedule to avoid any clashes with other race series, to allow for the planning of the teams and the drivers to make the best possible combinations, because obviously everybody wants to be competitive and wants to succeed here. Lutz Leif-Linden, on behalf of the Automobilclub van Deutschland, you're the new sporting organizer. What does that mean exactly? Well, in motorsport you have the commercial promoter and you have the sporting organizer. The AVD has been in place since 1899, and since 1923 we've been organizing the German Grand Prix, so it's a long history, a long heritage. Gerrit and I have known each other for many years, and as the opportunity arose to become involved as a sporting organizer, you're involved in the regulations, you're involved in an issue like safety at the track, you submit the officials for race control, the race official, as a service provider at a very high level. What is the cooperation like? Well, we've known each other for a long time. I joined the AVD about 3 years ago, and around the same time Gerhard joined the DTM, so that is how the opportunity arose for a cooperation. The attractive thing is to develop a DTM 4.0, so to say, acknowledging the history and the heritage of the series, but also looking into some possibilities for the future. Let's talk about new target groups you would like to reach. How realistic is it, Chris, for instance, to you, that we will see drivers like René Rast, Mike Rockenfeller see in the DTM again? It has to be in the interest of Audi. Well, first of all, the interest of Audi is to put a solid customer racing program in place. It would be a dream to establish this great name, the DTM. But first of all, we have to create a business case. How can we enable teams to participate here? And then the final thing, which is a very nice element, is to select the drivers. Sebastian Vettel has spoken up already, so don't give all the places away yet. It is a fact. It is in your interest to have the best drivers. Yeah, definitely. We will have the best drivers. We will be the best race series in the world. So first of all, I would like to thank the gentleman here. The drivers are really eager to race in the DTM 2021 as well.
Finale Hockenheim ist normalerweise immer ein absolutes Highlight, aber dieses Jahr auch für mich ein bisschen mit gemischten Gefühlen, weil die Class 1-Ära zu Ende geht.
Aber meistens ist es so, wenn eine Ära zu Ende geht, geht es natürlich in Zukunft auch weiter. Und das hat der Gerhard mit seinem Team ganz klar unter Eindruck gestellt, dass die DTM weitergeht.
Ja, jeder, der mich kennt, der weiß, wie lange ich von der DTM geträumt habe. Und die letzten 4 Jahre war ich Teil der DTM, habe die DTM erlebt und habe mir meinen Lebenstraum in der DTM erfüllt. Und natürlich jetzt im Moment hat die DTM eine schwierige Zeit hinter sich, aber ich glaube, wir haben ganz, ganz viele tolle Leute, die im Hintergrund arbeiten, dass es die nächsten Jahre eine tolle Zukunft hat. Und ich glaube weiterhin an die Plattform der DTM und würde mich auch freuen, wenn ich in Zukunft immer noch Teil der DTM bin.
Das Rennen jetzt mit den aktuellen Boliden ist einerseits traurig und andererseits genieße ich noch, ich werde jede Runde einfach in den Auto genießen.
Es war für mich immer ein Traum, dorthin zu kommen. Und wenn ich zurückblicke und sehe, dass ich die Meisterschaft zweimal gewinnen konnte, dort meine größten Erfolge gefeiert habe, freut mich es natürlich, dass die DTM weitergeht.
Ich bin sehr gespannt, was die Zukunft bringen wird und bin sehr froh, dass es Gerhard Berger und die ITR geschafft haben, die Plattform weiterhin sozusagen am Leben zu halten. Und
ich denke, da kommt vieles auf uns zu, wo wir uns drauf freuen können und von dem her, ja, glaube ich, wird es ganz, ganz toll.
Und ich freue mich auf die Zukunft.
Und ich hoffe natürlich, dass auch ich wieder mit am Start bin und vor allem dann vor vollen Zuschauerrängen mit den Fans.
So let's talk to the teams. 3 representatives from professional teams are here. First of all, from Phoenix Racing team principal Ernst Moser, on behalf of Team Rosberg, Kimmo Limatäinen, and on behalf of the Abt team, Thomas Biermeier. Very good morning to you. Ernst, starting off with you, teams have to do their homework. They have to realign. What does it mean for a team with a view to 2021 for Phoenix Racing? Well, when you've been racing in the DTM for so many years, the most important race series in Europe, so it's logical for next year to put a package in place as well. We are in good negotiations. I think something will be achieved, but there's no signature on the paper yet. How does that actually work? Well, first of all, the most important thing is to raise the budget. That's what we're working on at the moment. We've been working with Audi for many years, so we're trying to establish a partnership. As you've heard, it's a customer racing model. It will be a bit different compared to the years before, but we're really working on getting this package together. So it's interesting for you to keep your drivers the best of the best. Yeah, definitely. It has been working very well for many years with professional drivers in this series. The defending champion with Team Rosberg, Kimmo, for you it's probably the same. First of all, the view to this weekend's season finale, but also the planning for 2021. A DTM without Team Rosberg is unthinkable for many fans. Yeah, definitely. We want to be part of it. And as Ernst said already, there are some things that need to be clarified. We have to raise the budget, we have to look at it, and that's what we're working at, and we hope to be present there. How does a team raise a budget? Are you looking for sponsors? Yeah, definitely. Sponsors have to be in place. We're also considering a pay driver model for one car. And well, let's wait and see what can be achieved. Are you talking to the drivers? For instance, Jamie Green, an old hand in the DTM, the defending champion, René Rast. Yeah, definitely. We're talking to drivers, we're talking with sponsors and partners, and that's as much as I can say at the moment. A lot of things are really moving forward, also for the Abt team. Thomas Biermeier, you have a smile on your face. You're in a special situation. You're racing Formula E next year with René Rast. Maybe also racing for Rosberg in DTM. It's a bit unclear, but for you, a platform that the DTM has to be interesting. Yeah, definitely. We've been part of the DTM since 2000. We're glad that Gerhard and his team managed to keep the platform alive. It's clear that we will be present there as well. We have to do our homework to ensure that we will be there on the grid in Russia in May next year. Well, the planning has to be finalized before Christmas. To have certainty for the team. We have employed 20 people, so we have to know that things are moving forward. We're a lot further ahead than a couple of weeks ago when a lot of things were still uncertain. Now we have clear commitment from Audi team principals who are involved in the battle for the championship in the case of Kimo and Thomas Biermeier, so thank you very much. And I'm looking forward to a great weekend. Start today with free practice and tomorrow with the two races, tomorrow and Sunday. And hopefully we see each other 2021 in the DTM. So let's get back to Gerhard Berger on stage, who will be glad to hear also hearing what the team principals are saying. The interest is there, that's for sure. Now they have to do their homework. That's all we can say for the moment, but it's still quite a lot already, isn't it? Yeah, definitely. The intention is there. All the applications for information are very substantial as well. When you look at the cars there, you see the Lamborghini, the Ferrari, the Audi. So the variety of brands is something that will really delight all the fans. The BMW is lacking. They have made a commitment. It's not quite certain. We have to wait for the car because the M4 is still in the homologation process. So the M4 won't be on the grid before 2022, but maybe in 2021 we will see some other teams racing with the M6 or maybe earlier the M4 already. The intention is there. Teams are highly motivated. Obviously, given the difficult economic situation at the moment because of COVID-19 and many other aspects, it's very difficult for teams to raise the budget. But from a budget perspective, it's a big step forward. It's much more affordable when you compare it to the current Class 1 regulations, so that's a positive thing. It's a battle for sure, but it's a positive thing, the new element. We've been talking about it often enough. I'm seeing a very optimistic Gerhard Berger when you compare it, for instance, to the situation in July. Yeah, I'm doing quite well, okay. We can look forward to it, so saying nothing wrong. We're looking forward to many different brands in the DTM 2021. One more thing I would like to add. The DTM is a platform in Germany in premium automotive segment that we need to continue. We have to continue, all the suppliers, the whole industry. It's so significant to keep this platform alive, to fight for it, to pull together and to carry it over into the future. In this future, for the moment, 4 platforms, 4 columns and pillars are playing a role in the DTM. The first pillar I can talk about is the DTM 2021. We've introduced it already. The next chapter is the second pillar, very important, and here it's in third position. It's DTM Esports. Gerhard, tell us a little bit about it. What kind of role is esports playing in your daily business? Yeah, it's definitely the thing. The current generation, we have to approach and to address the current digital generation. So therefore, esports is a very important element that we have integrated into our platform. We've had a couple of successful races already. We will see the finale as well later on. And I think the interaction between the real world sport and the virtual sport is for the fan a very great story, another great story. For us, it's our aim to see maybe the digital champion one day racing in the real world race series as well. And of course, also interesting to see how drivers from the real world race series do on the simulator. Yes, I can say it from my own experience. We've shown it often enough as footages, René Rast, Philipp Eng, a lot of drivers who are really active in esports and simulator racing. So from that perspective, we're looking forward to it. And there are also esports drivers who have landed in a race car and doing a good job. Yeah, definitely in the trophy, Felix van der Laden. I will be talking to the champion later on, but let's look at what it's like DTM esports.
Contact between the two. You're for the lead! Yeah, he's buzzing. Okay, there's the confirmation, and Jack Keighley is going to take race number 1. He's had to win this race, and Myrna will take the checkered flag here at Spielberg. What a finish here, Connery! And you can see it there, the relief. He knows that he is the DTM Esports 2020 champion.
So that's the view on the monitor. We see Moritz Lerner. He's the champion of the DTM Esports, Porsche Carrera Cup Esports. And now on the final straight at Hockenheim. Moritz, a very good morning to you. It's difficult to talk to you. You're so involved. Congratulations. A lot of achievements with all your championship titles you've won. Explain us briefly for all those for whom this is new. How does it work? You have the steering column shifting, you have the pedals, you have the steering wheel. Yeah, I have the pedals, I'm in a race seat, the steering wheel. The only thing that's missing are the G-forces, but it's simulated with some movement. So basically, it's not much different to being in an actual car. I've been able to do a test with the GT4 car, which was my very first experience in a race car, and I immediately felt at ease. How big was the difference in terms of lap times? Well, the difference was about 1 second per lap against somebody who's been racing for 3 years already. How did you start? My father was really a motorsport enthusiast. We've been visiting the DTM at Norris Ring every year. I think this year was the first time in 10 years we didn't go. So we got a bit of a passion for motorsport. We had the pedals and the steering wheel on our own PC at home. Quite low budget. We did it after school when we came home, my brother and I. And in the last couple of years, esports has developed really well, and you can even make some money with it. So, can we say you're a professional? Yeah, I could say so. Yeah. I'm in the simulator every day when preparations for the DTM esports. You have to practice at least 2 hours per day, so a lot of it takes a lot of time. What is it like? You drive against each other online? Yes, you can compare it with the situation on the real-world racetrack. You have your teammates, you have all the other drivers, you see them on the track, you see them around you, and that's how it goes. You know each other among yourselves online as well? Are the drivers also meeting up sometimes? Yeah, definitely. Back in the day, you only met online, but I think about 4 or 5 years ago, there was this sim racing exhibition, and all the sim racers in the world, they met up for one weekend and had fun. And obviously competed in races as well. And yeah, we actually got to know each other. Show us how you drive off. Maybe we can show it. So first gear, and then you push the throttle. It's a bit difficult here. Yeah, we see it here. Normally I'm driving with headphones on. Can you communicate with the other drivers? Yeah, there are some software like a team radio. Especially with your teammates, you can talk, but not against the opponents, of course. Did you drive against René Rast? Yeah, in the DTM Esports, we drove against many real-world drivers. I was in Team Sheldon, so I was in the team with Sheldon van der Linde, and we had some fun also on the software. And how good was Sheldon? In this championship, maybe not so good, but I have to say the last couple of weeks have been quite stressful for him. But he spent a lot of time in the simulator to get better, to actually improve. When does your season end? It actually concluded last week already. So that's how you became the champion in the DTM Esports, so congratulations. It's a new pillar on the DTM platform, very interesting to see. I've been following the series since 2000 already. It's great to see how the things are developing. Yeah, definitely. My parents think it's really cool. Back in the day, they said, yeah, it will always remain a hobby. But then it became clear that one day I could be able to make money with it. And now, obviously, my parents are supporting me really very much. All the information can be found also on the website dtm.com. Tonight there is something, the DTM Super Finale with all the champions from the the top level sim racing series. Sheldon van der Linde will be there. He will be racing on the simulator here as well. We have the sim lineup here, and Sheldon van der Linde will be there as well. Thank you very much, Morris Lohner. Good luck for next year as well. And hopefully we'll see you next year again to defend your title. Yes, I very much hope so. So, what do we have? What kind of pillars do we have? We have presented 2 of them already, DTM 2021 and DTM Esports. And at Spa-Francorchamps, a new series made its debut at Spa-Francorchamps, the DTM Trophy. A successful debut season for the DTM Trophy this year, and I'm really delighted to have 5-time DTM champion Bernd Schneider standing next to me. Thank you for being here. Gerhard, your first verdict, the debut season, not easy, was it? Well, let's get back to esports first. this driver Heinemann, he is coming directly from esports, so that's how he got started in the motorsport world. Yeah, definitely. Esport is the platform where you can get started without having to invest a huge budget. Heinemann won the title in the ANG support program in 2018. He was allowed to go onto the racetrack at Valencia together with me 2 years ago, and it was the very first time he actually sat in a race car. He's never had any previous experience, and with Manuel Metzger sitting alongside him, he was just as fast as I was driving all on my own. Tim Heinemann is a champion of the current season. We've seen some footage of him already. Somebody who has impressed us from the very first day onwards. Gerhard, I know it from many conversations. It's a very important thing to you, the DTM Trophy. Yeah, definitely. As you see that some kids can make the step from, be it go-kart racing or be it sim racing, into the DTM Trophy, and then maybe even use it as a stepping stone to become a professional, to earn some money as a professional driver in the DTM. That's the way the platform would like to present itself, so that's why we initiated the trophy for this year. We had a very late start, only in January. We had everything in place for us to say, okay, we do this trophy. And in spite of the COVID situation, we got it started. We've seen some great racing, a very well-balanced field with many different brands. So we support it very much, and we keep on to do so to have a successful next year again. Bernd, when somebody has won the DTM title 5 times like you, a legend, and then there's some young guy coming from esports, and then he's just as quick as the 5-time champion. Obviously, with all the experience you have as a racing driver, you said he needs and he deserves to be backed. It's an interesting thing, isn't it? Yeah, definitely. I know it from the days in the past when the young kids made their way from go-karts to Formula 3 and then into the DTM. So we had some people coming from esport in the past already, but somebody really at that level getting started and then really winning the championship, it was clear that he deserved my support. We are really complementing each other. He has a lot of experience in esports. He learned me a lot of things, even for myself, for other drivers that I'm supporting. And I try to help him a little bit with the experience I have. Obviously, at the racetrack, you don't have a reset button, so it always costs money when you cause some damage. You have to be careful. So you don't have to learn him anything about the tracks, but some race experience is something that I can help him with. Will we see Tim Heinemann in the DTM? Well, obviously it depends on the sponsors. There is interest from esports to support these young talents as well, but DTM will be a bit difficult, but it definitely is the main goal. I think in terms of driving talent, he is absolutely ready for the DTM. What does the DTM boss say? Well, the doors are open, and that's the purpose of the series, that the champion of this series can make its way into the DTM. Gerhard, the trophy was just a start. It will continue 2021. Yeah, definitely. We want to expand it further. We've seen the calendar. We will see 1 race more next year, so 7 rounds for the DTM trophy. Maybe we'll see some very small regulations changes. We're doing very well with the balance of performance, but we will also be adding success ballast for the first 3 drivers in each race. So to emphasize the driving skills and the driving talent of the individual drivers as well. I'm happy that we can continue to talk later on about the next level. That, Bernd, will be very important for you as well. It's has to do with the history of the DTM, and that's something that comes up every now and then when talking to fans. So it's the 4th pillar DTM Classic. It really is an emotional moment to be standing next to cars like these. It's very special, and then also to be able to see these cars being raced on track, as the footage already proved as well. It's great to see this car from 1995. Obviously a dream for every motorsport fan. Jörg van Ommen, one of the drivers of these cars. But, well, let's return to Gerhard Berger, Bernd Schneider and Lutz Lauflinden talking about DTM Classic. Bernd, how emotional is it still for you, even with all the experience you have? Yeah, it's always like a deja vu when you see a DTM car, Jörg van Ommen's car. In that year I won the title for the first time here at Hockenheim. It's incredible. We had 500 horsepower of engine output. They had a high standard of technology. It was even more advanced than Formula One at the time. It's great fun to drive these cars even today. And there are some people around Jörg Hatscher who have really prepared the cars in a perfect way. I saw it at the Nürburgring, and they really look like they were 25 years ago. And all the fans who see it now are really excited to see the cars being raced again. It's thrilling. On one hand, we see images like this, and then we talk about esports. So we have the complete circle in the DTM. It's a very emotional thing. What will DTM Classic be like next year? Well, it's very important that we transport the unique history and the heritage of the DTM. When you look at this spectacular car, spectacular racing, and the drivers we see here, Klaus Ludwig, Bernd Schneider, Rosberg, Walter Röhrl, Stuck, Heyer, everybody who was there, names that have gone down in history of motorsport, and all the fans that came to the racetrack and watched the weekend of the modern DTM are also delighted to meet the people, to obtain some autographs, and to see some of these cars actually being raced with the cars from back in the day. So I think we have to integrate this element. It's a very firm part of the concept, so we will definitely stick to it. We will see the cars on track. We will see drivers like Bernd Schneider. Will we see on the grid? Well, I've got a lot of activities, but I'm always in contact with the guys, and I would be delighted to be able to drive together with Klaus Ludwig. We've been talking about it already together, actually. And when it fits into my schedule, definitely. Yeah, always very supportive to get classic elements on the platform, and you need the drivers that come with it. It's the key is the sport, and therefore, Bernd, you will have to be there. Well, it's a highlight when you're allowed to do it, and I would be happy to do so, definitely. And I think I'll make it fit somehow. Lutz Lauflinden, the sporting organizer. When you look at these cars, there's also a lot of value out there, but still we see real racing. Oh yeah, definitely. Obviously, it's very getting more and more difficult to find the right spare parts, so some of them are a little bit more cautious, but definitely on track there's racing, it's competition, and there's contact and everything that comes with it. It will never stop. When you look at Klaus Ludwig, he's 71, and the last time he drove just like he did 25 years ago. Lutz Lauflinden, what kind of role is AVD playing? Well, AVD has been organizing the AVD Oldtimer Grand Prix, the biggest classic car event in Europe, for 48 years. We've had up to 600 cars over a weekend, so that's our expertise and our knowledge in this area. So when Gerhard and Frederick Elsner and I discussed what we could do as a support program, it was quite clear that next to all the modern things like esports, you have to integrate the classic part as well. It's A lot of great cars are around, drivers like yourself, like your team, Klaus Ludwig, and that's what the fans out there would like to see. I remember last year's season finale here at Hockenheim, and people were really lining up, and sometimes even more people standing there to watch the old cars than the modern ones, and yeah, we really should not forget that. So it's clear from your perspective as well, the sporting organization, so Bernd and all the others, they have to be careful with the cars. Yeah, well, when they put their helmets on, they're not careful anymore. I'd like to thank you all very much. I'm looking forward to working together next year. We're looking forward to Bernd Schneider. I'm sure we'll see you one day in the Classic Cars DTM Classic, our fifth pillar. Gerhard, and let's now look into the future together. Just come along with me, as now we walk down here the hall, and there is a big box that I showed at the very beginning, and I know that a lot of work has been done around this box. A lot of things happened in the last 12 months. Tomorrow is now, it's what we see here. So now let's talk about pillar number 5. So, and that's what we will see now will no longer be a box, but what's in it, and that's the future.
Tomorrow is now. Die Zukunft der DTM.
The future of the DTM, pillar number 5, a fully new car, DTM Electric. That is the new pillar, and a driver that we all know is getting out of this car. We still don't know who he is, but we were about to find out, and some fans will recognize him. Here is Timo Scheider. Timo, very good morning. Do you know how long I've been in there? I'm quite hot now. The DTM champion 2008 and 2009, also a DTM legend, driving this very, very new car, DTM Electric, from the box. Tell us about your emotion at this moment. What do we have here? Oh, it has over 100,000 horsepower. So he will tell us very soon whether it's actually any good or not. He has completed a couple of laps with it already. This car includes one of the key elements of the future, and that's something we will be talking about later on. But first of all, let's hear from Timo Scheider. A fully electric car that you already drove here at Hockenheim yesterday? Yeah, definitely. I tried not to have an opinion beforehand, to just get into the car and enjoy what was awaiting me. Scheffler with the engine, the steer-by-wire, I was really, really impressed by it. Not just as a driver, it's 880 kilowatts, over 1,000 horsepower. So it has shown that this is the future, and for me it's exactly the right moment to make this mark, and Scheffler turned it into reality in a really great way. We will be showing some footage over the weekend on the international live feed and also on the German TV broadcast. I'm standing between two real petrol heads, two classic race drivers. Timo Scheider, I know it from you as well. You're rather skeptical when it was people were talking about electric, but now you're really enthusiastic. Yeah, of course I like the smell of petrol and oil, and I like the sound, but things have changed. There's a new era. We have to identify and have to accept it. It's the way it is. And I was there in 2000 when the DTM started, and now in the new future, it's great to be part of it. So I didn't get any money from Schaeffler to say what I'm saying now, but really 1,200 horsepower, four-wheel drive, accelerating out of the hairpin yesterday for the first time. It was like a roller coaster ride. This feeling I have in the car is really very, very special for a race driver. You can never have enough power, but 1,200 horsepower is quite decent actually. I didn't see Timo beforehand, so what he's saying is one of the most important things for me as petrol heads, but we're living in this world. It's the current situation, but we have to also think about the future on our platform. We have to work on sustainable technologies. Bernd Schneider said already earlier on that once we had a point where the DTM was more advanced than Formula 1, and that's where we need to go back again. For me, it's very important to get this impression. Is it the extreme thing that we're looking for? Race drivers, from what drivetrain the performance is coming from is basically irrelevant. The most important thing is that you have the power. You have plenty of power, and that we as race drivers are required to deal with all the power and the performance and to handle it in the cars in the right way. And I think, yeah, the brief has been quite good. You know that I'm quite critical, maybe saying some more things than I actually should, but I'm really keen to get back into the car and to be able to drive again. For me, it's important for the DTM to present this technology for the future, but also to bring the fans along as well, that they accept it as motorsport, as our motorsport, and at the end of the day, they're happy with the way we are dealing it with. And I think and I hope that together with our strategic partner Schaeffler and with this car, I'm convinced that we can get it done. We'll get to talk with the people from Schaeffler who are there already, but the fans will ask already. We see here DTM 2022. Will it be one of the pillars? Well, first of all, we have to say, of course, we have to look into the future, the long future. We are really looking forward to this variety of brands, to the exciting racing with these cars. But next, alongside, we don't want to lose time in advancing the technical development and then look at what the technology for the day after tomorrow will be. And that's something that could be something very interesting for maybe 2023, 2024 and beyond. It will be a parallel series. Yeah, it will be one of the series, definitely. There will be some interaction. We'll see how it will develop, but I think time has come to really consider technology like this. Thank you very much. Your gleaming eyes, I will never forget that. Thank you very much. The two-time DTM champion Timo Scheider, who raced in the DTM for 17 years. And look forward to working with you as an expert over the weekend on Sat1 German television. Gerd, let's get back. We have the people from Schaeffler here that we can continue to talk to. Welcome, and I'm really happy that these people are here. The board member for Automotive Technologies of Schaeffler, Matthias Zink, the head of e-mobility at Schaeffler, Dr. Jochen Schröder, and for the DTM, responsible for transformation, competition and technology, Michael Resel. A special moment, Mr. Sink, looking at this, how much excitement there was for you as a board member when Timo Scheider drove this car, these 2 meters. Well, it was rather pride than excitement. It's great to see the car working that we have been working on for many years, for many months already. I spoke to Timo already beforehand. And it's great to get his feedback from his perspective as a racing driver, and I think that's the best acknowledgement we can get. Dr. Schroeder, for you it's probably the same when you look at it here. Not just a clear view into the future, but now here already. Computer animations and everything is very nice, but now we have the actual car here with Timo Scheider as a driver. Yeah, definitely. It's to me, it's an emotional thing. I have to say, I'm really promoting e-mobility at Schaeffler and electric racing, real racing with so much power on the track and on the racetrack that to see it work is a very nice moment. We've been talking about it already in the DTM, a lot of emotions. Here we see the DTM. What will the position of the DTM Electric as the 5th pillar on the DTM platform will be? Well, it was very important for us when conceptualizing the DTM Electric to incorporate the DNA of the DTM. It has to be fun, it has to be entertaining, it has to be competitive, fair competition. For the fan out there, the DTM Electric has to be just as exciting and maybe even more exciting than all the other DTM series and all the elements that are crucial for the DTM we've been talking about already. It's been very exciting and great fun to be involved in this project, and it's a big moment to be able to show this prototype now. I can remember some social media postings when a visionary film computer animation was presented last year. Within a couple of months, you now actually succeeded in getting this first study on track. The real car now on track. So this is the prototype. Hopefully we will see more cars. You've had a lot of things on your mind for this season, saving the DTM, ensuring the future of the DTM, but also this series. Were you able to sleep? Well, I was able to sleep, but the question was whether our team has been able to sleep. There's a lot of work has been invested with a lot of people being involved. Great cooperation with Schaeffler. And here you have the technical representatives, and I'm the racing representative, so to say. And that has resulted into something that we can actually go out on track with. We're actually able to show the fans that motorsport can be done in an electric way and also at a level, and that's been always very important for me from the very beginning. It has to be motorsport. It has to be fast, it has to be aggressive, it has to be competitive, and first and foremost, it has to be a challenge in a sporting way. So I think these basic elements of our future project are incorporated in this car, and it can now be tested on a regular basis. Schaeffler has been a partner in the DTM for many years already, but I think the partnership is raised to a next level. Mr. Zink, can you tell us a little about the role in the DTM? Well, so far, first of all, we've been working together with manufacturers because we're supplying many clients in the automotive industry. But I would like to thank Gerhard as well. We've been talking about partnership in this series at a very early stage already. And to be able to guide the series into the future, it's really pioneering work. Also being able to develop this format, this technology with 1,200 horsepower, the battery capacity, battery technology. And we really want to promote and to advance the development there. Dr. Schroeder, the car has a battery. There will be probably a pit stop. Will we see a battery change? What do we have to look forward to? Well, there is some pioneering work in this car to advance it all. First of all, it's about being able to put the performance on the track. The battery, definitely. The storage capacity, and as we said before, we didn't want to make any compromises. We want to stage great racing, and battery technology is advanced quite well already. I think to go a full race distance, we still have to change a battery. What would be a full race distance? At the moment, we would say the 45 minutes we're doing at the moment. Gerhard Berger will say a little bit more about it, but I think for a race distance is our goal. From a technical perspective, it's possible. Yeah, definitely. The battery can do so, and also the drivetrain. And that's also our aim, that we would like to bring from a technology perspective. The car can deliver the performance, and now it's about making it ready for motorsport. That's the vision, quite clear. The formats will be maybe a little bit shorter. Maybe it will not be 45 minutes, maybe it will be 35 minutes instead. But we can see a battery change. They're coming in for a pit stop. They're now maybe fueling up or changing tires, but maybe we see battery changes in the future. We will have the very normal race format we've had so far. Michael, what is different in this series than in other race series we know already? Well, first of all, our approach is that racing has to be fun for a fan and for a driver. That's what we've heard from Timo. Plenty of power and being able to reach speeds of over 300 kilometers per hour on the straights. So it's demanding for a driver as well. You need obviously good braking there in front of the corners as well. And we're really pushing to the limits of what is technically possible. And the driver is delighted, as we've seen with Timo Scheider, in a very special way. Gerhard, final question to you as well, as a race driver. That is what it is about, that the race driver is delighted? I think motorsport covers many different areas. First of all, you have to be a forerunner in a technological area. But also, at the end of the day, it's sport. So sport is about getting athletes and drivers to the maximum of the possibilities of their performance levels, and it's about to determine who is the best to get the best out of his package and to deal with his car. And to be able to do so, obviously, the car needs to have a certain performance. So what you asked before, the difference to other electric race series, we are really in an area of performance where drivers will be getting to the limit. As Timo showed during his brief test drive, he will be doing some more laps today. You will see a lot more from DTM Electric, not just on German TV, but also on an international level today and tomorrow in the international feed. Gerhard, finally, we see the 5 pillars of the DTM here, with the classic DTM, with the new chapter starting in 2021. We have the DTM Trophy for young up-and-coming drivers, DTM Esports becoming more and more important. DTM, Tim Heinemann is a good example of the interaction between the DTM Trophy and the Esports. DTM Classic and DTM Electric as a view to the future. Mr. Zink, Dr. Schröder, thank you very much. Michael, Gerhard Berger as well, thank you very much for your outlook into the future. And looking forward to the next 2 days. Yeah, definitely getting back to the championship. Still 2 races to go. Very exciting to find out who will become the champion 2020, and I'm really looking forward to it. The race tomorrow Sat 1 live in Germany from 1 o'clock in the afternoon onwards. Free practice already today on the live streaming platform on DTM Grid. Thanks also to our international viewers and spectators. Thank you very much for your attention. A lot of information on DTM.com as well, on the official website, the esports finale. I wish you a very entertaining day, and then looking forward to the DTM finale between René Rast, Nico Müller and Robin Freins. Thank you very much, all the colleagues. Thanks for your interest, and look forward to a great weekend of racing here at Hockenheim and looking into the future together. Have a nice morning. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.